I'm going crazy. 무뎌져.
Jung sat at the corner booth in the bustling cafe, nervously tapping his fingers on the table. His friends Jimin and Taeyang sat across from him, their mischievous grins hinting at a secret plan so cookie. Jimin started wiggling his eyebrows suggestively. Are you ready for Operation Fake Girlfriend? Jung sighed, running a hand through his tousled brown hair. I guess so. I mean, if it's helped me to get what I want, then yeah. Tang leaned in, his voice low and conspirational. Remember, Cook, you have to make it convincing. Act like you're head over heels for her, and your ex will start feeling jealous in no time. Chung nodded in his mind, consumed with thoughts of her only. He had met her a few months ago at a mutual friend's party, and from that moment, he couldn't get her out of his mind. She was smart, funny, and had a smile that could light up a room. Why does Mrs. Hoshi always have to ask me for a helping hand? You're sulking on yourself while walking towards the music room where a professor assigned you to check a few instruments in the music room. Yes, you're a type of teacher's pet student. It's annoying for you too sometimes, but then you remember your GPA and all. Your brain follows their order. Just as you were about to open the door, you heard piano chord playing. It wasn't time for any class then. Who was there? You got curious and opened the door slowly, but by the view you leaned against the doorway, watching him with a mix of awe and curiosity. His passion for music radiated from every note that he played, capturing your heart in its enchanting embrace. You couldn't tear your eyes away, drawn to him like a moth to a flame. As the last note hung in the air, Jungkook's lifted, meeting yours. A mischievous smile curved up his lips as he stood up from the piano bench, his eyes never leaving yours. Well, look who's here, he said, his voice smooth and flirtatious. Enjoying the private concert, sweetheart? Your eyes flushed as you bit your lips, trying to hide your growing smile. Even after, you know what is reputation in this college. You weren't able to control the attraction towards him. I didn't mean to interrupt, you replied, your voice slightly breathless. You're amazing. That song was beautiful. Chung closed the distance between both of you, his confident strides matching the rhythm of your heart. He leaned against the piano, a playful glint in his eyes. Only beautiful. I was aiming for breathtaking. He teased, his voice filled with playful arrogance. Your eyes sparkled as you looked up at him. Well, you definitely achieved that then. He said, your voice filled with admiration. I couldn't take my eyes off you. Chung's playful facade softened, his gaze filled with a newfound tenderness. I play this song for someone special like you. He confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. It's caught still with you because even when you're not physically here, you're always on my mind, in my heart. Your breath caught in your throat as you absorbed his words. The air around them crackled with an electric tension, their connection growing stronger by the second. What? He paused for a while and then spoke with a grin. Yeah, that's how you're gonna act all lovey-dovey in front of her. You felt an unwanted stung pain in your chest. Who? My ex? Your frown disappeared hearing him. You didn't know which ex he was talking about because your fingers will be less to count them. But then a question came up in your mind. What do you mean by ex? I just want your help in making my ex jealous so I can get her back. Like, we can act like a couple in front of her. You blinked your eyes at a sudden statement. And why would I do that? Chung's lips curved in a smug grin as he gently took your hand, drawing your fingers with his. Because, my dear, when I saw you standing there watching me play, I knew I had to seize the opportunity. I couldn't let someone as captivating as you slip away. You had fluttered at his words. Well, you are certainly caught my attention, Jungkook, admitted, your voice filled with warmth. So, should I take it as a yes? Let's see. He already knew the answer by looking in your eyes, and it was okay for him if you don't answer because he already got his. The college classroom buzzed with anticipation as students settled in their seats, ready for another day of lectures. Jungkook entered the room, his gaze immediately searching for Ryan. Spotting her at the back, he couldn't help but smile. He made his way to her, taking the empty seat beside her. Hey, Chunks whispered, leaning close to Ryan. Did you miss me? Van rolled her eyes playfully, a blush creeping onto her cheeks. Maybe a little, she replied, her voice filled with mock indifference. As the professor began the lecture, Chung's attention shifted from the front of the room to the woman beside him. Unable to resist, he reached in the desk and discreetly relaxed his fingers with violence. Her hand felt warm and soft, fitting perfectly with his. Their eyes met. He saw a frown on Vine's face. Practice makes the man perfect. Vine felt hurt a little, thinking he's just getting easy with her to make his ex jealous. In the midst of particular little explanation, Chung scribbled a note on a piece of paper and passed it to Vine. She opened it, her eyes filling with surprise. "Meet me after class by the cafeteria." The note read, followed by a heart-shaped doodle. Vine nodded, a playful glimmer in her eyes. She quickly wrote a response and slipped it back to Jungkookff. Vine entered the cafeteria filled with students that barely a chair was visibly empty. Her roaming eyes searched for a specific figure. Just then she was hugged by a person. She was about to back off until she heard his voice. "Don't move, she is here." He hugged Vine, placing his hand over her back, caressing her hairs, and the other one on her waist. Vine was about to hug him back, but her inner self stopped her from doing it. She only kept her head on his shoulder. Breaking the hug, she looked around to find the girl he was talking about, but there were many girls and many were looking at him. She wasn't able to clarify which one. "Baby, let's sit there." He called Vine, holding her hand gently. Vine gulped, nodding, and sat down with him. "Where is she?" Vine asked him, being curious. Jung looked at Vine's direction and smiled. "Is she sitting behind me?" But he shrugged his shoulders. "I'm starving, let's eat." Vine had lunch with him, and in between he was throwing a random joke with pickup lines. "Jungkook, why did you ask me about this fake girlfriend thing? Like, you could have done it better with any other girl around. I'm not even famous to be with you two." Good question." You noticed a little twitch on his lips corner, but then he leaned in and pecked your neck. "Why not keep it a secret?" Your eyes widened at his actions, looking at him. "You looked like you saw a ghost," he chuckled, "and you tried to hide your blushing face." Looking around in the park at night, you were trying to find Jungkook. When you spotted him sitting a little far on the mat playing with his phone, you hurriedly walked to him. "Hey, Jun." Chung looked up, hearing your voice, and as always, that bunny smile appeared on his lips. He stood up and opened his arm to hug you, but stopped, looking at your curious expressions. "What are you looking for?" "Is she here too?" you asked, gulping, the pain in your chest, your fist turning tightly closed. He nervously chuckled and shook his head. "No, she is not." "Oh, then, why do you call me here?" He tilted his head, looking at your face and brushing. He can see that curiosity over your face. "Do we need some third person to be the reason for us being together?" "Huh?" You didn't understand what he meant. "There's an ice cream parlor. Let's buy some to eat." Holding your hand, he walked ahead. You quietly followed him, realizing that this time it's only you and him and not a third person around whom he wants to make jealous, give you a strange relief. You had always felt attracted towards him, but the immense level you're feeling about it is something else more than a normal attraction. Okay, so two vanilla and banana mix for us. "Oh, that's my favorite flavor." You excitedly smiled. He rubbed the back of his neck, smiling too, taking both ice cream cones you bought. Walked in the park slowly while eating. You noticed a beautiful lake beside the park, and those decorations of yellow and white lights on tree and plants were making it more beautiful. You know, after a long time and spending some time like this in a peaceful place, enjoying myself and the moment. Life has been really busy lately, and finding time for myself was more difficult, but thanks to you, I'm happy to hear that. He bit his lips, looking away. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "According to my reputation, don't you find it weird about me going behind a person and making them jealous to get them back in my life?" Now that you asked it, honestly, I've never thought about this. I only thought of you as a normal guy at that time who only wanted his girl back. You're a human too, right? You can also fall in love with someone. It's not a weird thing, but that's how you live. Chung felt a rush of happiness hearing your words. These days, people are flooded with negative minds, and thinking straight it isn't an easy thing today, and finding a person opposite to it is no less than a blessing. Your answer was not only positive but also that made him sure about his choice. That's perfect, he thought. Meeting you is like witnessing the full moon for the first time, he whispered to himself. After 2 days, you messaged Jungkook about meeting as you were too busy the last 2 days in studying and being a teacher pet. You were waiting for Jungkook behind the college when you saw him walking towards you. A smile spreads over your lips but fades away when you see a girl walking beside him. She was being too touchy with him and smiling. Then your mind remembered that all you were doing with him was acting, nothing much. And what if that girl is the one who was acting with you? Did you get her back? You're thinking until they reach in front of you. Hey Ryan, hi. He looked at the girl who was trying her best to hold his hand, but he got his hand away from her. Chung saw your curiosity and smiled. One, she's Emma, and she cut him off, saying, "And we had a good time yesterday, right, Jungkook? And also thanks for last night." She pecked his cheek and walked away. Chung was standing there dumbfounded. You nervously smiled. Oh, I guess my act is done here. I'll go. You turned around with a painful expression, closing your eyes with a heavy sigh. Eating your own medicine had never been a good thing. It's always so bitter and difficult. You were the one who accepted this act. It's not his fault that your personal feelings got hurt. As you're walking, you notice students gathering around you in a circle, having each rose in their hands. You got confused, or you can say you have never been this confused before in any episode. Watching them smiling at you, and behind you, you turn around and a gas left your lips. He was sitting on his knees holding a ring box with 4 students behind him standing holding charts and "Will you be mine?" was written on each one. Looking around again, you notice it's only you standing between the circle and him sitting on his knee while everyone is watching. Well, surprised, he said with a chuckle, but you can sense nervousness in his tone. I know this is so sudden, but when all this time there wasn't any girl I was trying to make jealous. It was all planned so I can know more about you and you can too about me, because you know that rumors about me in the college. I wanted you to know me personally instead of some random shit. So it was all planned? Yeah, but I don't know about your feelings towards me before spending time with you. To test myself and my life, I have been with different girls too, but always something about me or them makes me let them go easily. But I swear the day I saw you at the college party, my heart isn't first in peace thinking about being late and not talking to you properly. And you're the girl just now. Actually, my friends want to see if you get jealous or not, so today I'm sitting here in front of everyone to tell you about my feelings for you. You know it out of words at this sudden scene. I want to spend my life with you. I didn't know about the pathways of love. We had met and talked, and that night sky was filled with stars. But now I know why that night was so beautiful, because I'm lucky. I have seen the grace that God has bestowed upon me up close. I believe that the fact that I have you is a gift from God. If I am brass in my life, then you are not less than good. So why will you accept me in your life and share your ups and downs with me? His eyes twinkled while asking. Your heartbeat became too immense. Your feelings were clear for you, but this all was so sudden. You were fighting to say yes. Your mind was saying something else than heart. You don't need to force yourself, only do what your heart say. And a smile appeared on your lips. You got your answer. Kneeling down in front of him, you wrapped your arms around his neck. Yes, you sat in his ears. His eyes widened because he was a little nervous about your answer. But what, can you say it again? Yes, Jungkook, yes. I willingly want us to be together. Yes, I love you and I really love you. Everyone started to cheer, throwing the roses on both of you. While Jungkook hugged you back tightly, sitting down, that now you were almost on his lap. Breaking the hug, he picked up the black box and picked the ring out of it. He looked at you with his doe eyes. He chuckled and gave you a hand in his. He smiled and placed a ring in your ring finger. Now that's our promise ring, to be together in whatever we are going through. Yes, we will. Now where's my promise ring, huh? You looked at him with dumbfounded as his eyes traveled from your eyes to your lips. You realized what he's asking for, and blush crept over your cheeks. But you cupped his cheeks and leaned in. He carefully gripped your waist and leaned into you. Both started to hear screams of student fans. Lips fell on your soft ones.